trouble when my parents would tell me they were going to send me to nannies. We all know she would have shaped me up real quick. Nowadays, I even wish I would have gotten in a little more trouble. Nanny and I had our ups and downs. We had our days. But in the past year, I met a new woman. The woman who raised my aunts and my father, all on her own. The strongest woman I'll ever know, and the woman with the biggest heart. I'm sure my cousins all remember going out with Nanny and poking our fingers in the dirt to plant her flowers for her. They're missed terribly, but every day their hands are on our shoulders, helping us on our own journeys and over the speed bumps. They showed us all the meaning of the true meaning of love. They made a huge impact on all of our lives. And now it's time to make them proud as we hold each other's hand and watch after all of us.
Complete without telling about how I met your mother. I looked across the room in the student union at Kearney and saw this gorgeous redhead. And she stood out in the crowd, literally. And I made it up my mind to be sure to make her acquaintance. She was a young mother and raising her children, and that summer I became acquainted with her and we celebrated my birthday, and from there on I got to know her children, and I lived in her basement apartment for a while, and it was just like, these are my family, just like
Sacramento, California, and I'm a father of 4 boys, and I want to share with you some story so you understand why I'm here. About 30 years ago, I came to the U.S. as a young teenage Vietnamese refugee from Vietnam, and I attend Kearney Junior High, and Mrs. Joan Fortune was one of my art teachers at Kearney Junior High. And back then, I didn't know a lot of English, but I could draw, and but I didn't know how to paint yet. But Mrs. Joan Fortune taught me how to paint, not only learning how to paint, but painting with a lot of water. And I figured out later it's watercolor. And later on, she kind of helped me. She had an art gallery, and somehow she helped me have a one-man art show when I was only 12. And I didn't even, now when I look back, I still don't understand how it was possible today. So I made pretty good money as a kid back then, but that's not why I'm here today. The reason I'm here today because of who she was. You know, she was a very kind and a very wonderful human being. You know, I have a lot of story to share, but I can share maybe one example. One thing that I will always remember was because I didn't have my family with me, so I was living with my first American foster family in Kearney for the summer of 1981. Because I still learning the language and culture, so I didn't get along with the foster mom. You know, they were a wonderful family and a very nice home and all that. But I guess I was a teenager, so I was pretty rebel. So. And she didn't like me to hang out with some of the kids that I met through school because you know, we were in a very nice neighborhood, and my friend, they pull up with really beat up cars, you know, with smoke and all that. so her concern was, she said that she doesn't want me to hang out with those kids because they smoke. And I told them that, you know, I don't smoke, and these are really nice kids. I hang out with them before I moved to your home. So we fought, and then I don't remember what I said, but she just stood up and told me that, you know, she wanted me to leave the house. So her husband took all my stuff, put on his truck, and I didn't have anywhere to go, so I told him that one person I can go to, you know, I didn't have my family. So it was Joan Fortune's I was lucky I knew where she lived. So she wasn't home, so I was in front of her apartment in the hallway, with all my belongings, sitting there all afternoon. It was the worst. It was the worst circumstance I can imagine. It was a long wait, and when Joan arrived that night, I remember she was really shocked. But she took me in. From that moment on, I always felt like she's the one. She's like my mom. But I never called her mom until later on. But she tried to adopt me and all that. But I was the state didn't want me to live with a single mom because she was single at the time. So I went on to Grand Island to live with other family, and I didn't do well there because I guess I have my own opinion, and I was an artist, I guess. So a lot of time I do things on my own, and I got into a fight again, and they told me to leave again, and my caseworker took me to another family. But one incident I will always remember was when I was living in a shelter, a runaway kids shelter. It's like a regular home, but it was all locked up. You cannot go out. You cannot talk to anyone. So I was staying there for like the whole summer, and nobody can call me. I didn't have anyone to call. And I was hoping that, one day I'll get a new foster home, and I'm waiting, and meanwhile I'm painting, by the way, because it was my way of escaping, kill time, and keep me busy. And I remember one day I got a call from this Joan Fortune, and she told me that she'd been trying all summer to get a hold of me, and the state worker, the social worker, been telling her that the reason I cannot contact anyone because I'm in trouble. I was into drugs, I was drinking alcohol and all that, so they couldn't let me talk to anyone. But Mrs. Joan Fortune, later on I called Mom, she told me that she had to tell them that I'm not like that. She knew me, that I was a good kid. I'm not into drugs, I'm not into alcohol. The only problem I had was I didn't have a family. I didn't have my parents. So now, many years later, when I have my own children, I always look at them, and I remember that. And that particular phone call. And that's why I'm here today.
Joan's son, Bill, has written. He'd like me to share it. My mother, who has been part of my life for each day of it, is not here. I have such a sadness that it surprises me. Dear Lord, I turn to you and trust that my mother is with you, and that she is enjoying your loving embrace. Please reward her, Lord. May she enjoy the communion of all her family and friends who are with you. I ask you this with faith in the resurrection, trusting in my mother's love, and desiring that she knows our love for her. She gave me my faith, helping me to know you. She read to me as a child, and she has made me laugh. No one ever delighted in my successes more. No one could comfort me better in my failure. I'm so grateful for how she mothered me, disciplined me, and mentored me. She taught me how to love and how to sacrifice for others. I've devoted my life to that and will carry it with me all my days. Thank you for believing in me, Mom, when I found it difficult to believe in myself. For saying what I've needed to hear sometimes instead of what I've wanted to hear. For siding with me and for giving me another side to consider. Mom, please help me to watch over your beautiful granddaughter, whom you only recently grew to know. I'm so thankful. She delighted in our latest visits, in your sweet smile, the grace in your eyes and the tenderness in your loving hands. Offer Grandpa our heartfelt affection as we are comforted by your reunion, and thank you both for showing her the beauty of a genuine and loving marriage for her example. To a teacher, to an artist, a counselor, a healer, a baseball player, a hero, my mother, an angel in heaven.